This is the 9th video presentation for the Case Food Science and Safety course. As you view this video, be sure to make notes of important information. Feel free to pause, repeat, and resume the video whenever necessary. Evaluating Consumer Behavior, Lesson 6.1, Consumer Preferences. You have begun Project 6.1.3, Sensory Science. You and your partner have been assigned a sensory evaluation method to research, conduct, and explain to your classmates. This presentation provides information you will need in order to complete the project. Computers are able to measure certain components of food products. For instance, a machine can test how sweet a food product is, and scientists know that consumers prefer foods within sweetness levels. However, a computer cannot determine if a consumer will like or dislike a product. By learning that information, companies reduce the risk in decision-making in food development. When researchers use sensory evaluation to analyze a product, what is produced is already known to be accepted and preferred by consumers. Researchers have found certain non-relevant factors can affect the perception of panelists. For example, to mask a color, researchers will influence environmental lighting to remove any color bias. Aromas in the testing room can affect panelists. If a researcher bakes cookies in the same room, panelists' perceptions could be changed because of the intense odor. An odor as simple as perfume could bias a panelist. Sample numbers affect panelists. Researchers have discovered panelists will more often choose a lower number over a higher number, or a lower letter in the alphabet over a higher letter. When 3-digit codes are used, that bias is removed. When a researcher has 2 samples, he or she will give half of the panelist one sample first, and the other half of the panelist the other sample first. Other factors need to be kept equal among samplists. Each sample should be the same temperature. Each sample should be the same size. It is important to remove any irrelevant factor from the testing room. 3 different sensory evaluation categories exist and are used for different purposes. Is there a single product that you want to test whether consumers will accept or not? Are there different products you want to compare or differentiate? Do you want your panelists to merely distinguish, or do you want them to provide descriptions? Ranking and preference tests help food product development researchers understand how well consumers will accept food products. An acceptance test can be more than one sample. The test is used to evaluate how well panelists like the food product. It is unreliable to allow panelists to test more than 5 samples. When developing evaluation sheets for acceptance tests, use numbers between 1 and 9 or smiley faces of varying degrees. On a preference evaluation sheet, you should have both sample numbers and a no preference option. A discrimination test helps testers distinguish between 2 or more samples. 3 specific standard tests can be used. In a dual trial test, the panel should try to choose the sample that matches a reference product. In a triangle test, the panelist chooses one sample that is not like the other 2. In a paired comparison test, the panelist will identify the best sample according to attributes. Most food companies have trained panelists for the food product they develop. To train a panel takes months and money. This method is not often used outside of the food industry sites. As a review, mark or highlight 3 key points in your notes that are important to remember from this presentation. List 2 ideas or concepts that relate to previous knowledge. List any questions you have about the topic and discuss these questions with your instructor. Keep any notes you have from this presentation organized and available for use throughout the course. Through Project 6.1.3 Sensory Science, you will construct and conduct a specific sensory evaluation and collect data to analyze the outcome. Then you explain how to conduct the test to your classmates. You will all need to be familiar with these tests for future activities, including a unique food product development project later in the course. This will help you understand the different sensory evaluation techniques used to detect consumer preference and acceptance. Your teacher will provide more instructions.